1984, Victoria, British Columbia, Canada. Imagine a young man who seems to have it all. He's 19 years old, standing on a soccer field, the kind of athlete who makes everything look effortless. When he runs, it's like watching poetry in motion. When he strikes the ball, defenders know they're already beaten. His name is Michael Robertson. At least, that's what we'll call him. Born in England, raised in Canada, he's a dual citizen with a dream that's about to come true. He's just received a full scholarship to play soccer at the University of Victoria. The scouts are watching. Professional teams are taking notes. The Canadian national team has him on their radar for the 1986 World Cup. This is a kid who's been playing soccer since he could walk. Every morning, every evening, rain or shine, he's on that field. His parents watch from the sidelines, bursting with pride. His older brother plays alongside him, but everyone knows Michael is special. The coaches see it. The teammates feel it. There's something about him that screams future professional athlete. He's not just talented, he's obsessed. While other kids his age are at parties, he's doing extra training sessions. While they're sleeping in, he's running drills at dawn. Soccer isn't just his passion, it's his identity, his purpose, his entire world. The University of Victoria Vikings soccer team welcomes him with open arms in 1984. His freshman year is everything he dreamed of. He's starting games, scoring goals, making a name for himself. The local newspapers start featuring him. People in Victoria begin recognizing him on the street. "Hey, aren't you that soccer player?" He just smiles and nods. This is what he's worked for his entire life. This is just the beginning. But Michael doesn't know that in less than a year, everything he's built, everything he's worked for, every dream he's ever had, will be ripped away from him in the most devastating way possible. Because sometimes life doesn't care about your dreams. Sometimes life doesn't play fair. And Michael is about to learn that lesson in the cruelest way imaginable. Early 1984. It starts small, so small that Michael almost ignores it. After practice one day, he feels unusually tired. Not regular athlete tired, something different, something deeper. His chest feels heavy. He brushes it off. He's probably just training too hard, pushing himself too much. Athletes play through pain, right? That's what champions do. A few weeks later, he's running a routine drill when his heart starts racing, pounding like it's trying to escape his chest. His vision blurs. The field spins around him. He stops, bends over, hands on his knees, trying to catch his breath. His coach runs over, concerned. "You okay, Robertson?" Michael nods, still gasping for air. Yeah, I'm fine. Just need a minute." But he's not fine. He knows it. Something is wrong. Very wrong. The symptoms get worse. Exhaustion that sleep can't fix. Shortness of breath that makes simple tasks feel impossible. His performance on the field starts declining. The golden boy who made everything look easy is now struggling to keep up with drills that used to be routine. His teammates notice but don't say anything. His coaches grow concerned. "Maybe you need to take a few days off, get some rest." But rest doesn't help. Nothing helps. Finally, after collapsing during a game, Michael's parents rush him to the hospital. The doctors run tests, blood work, x-rays, electrocardiograms. Michael sits in the hospital bed, still in his soccer uniform, watching the doctors' faces grow more serious with each test result. Then comes the diagnosis that will change everything. The doctor sits down, and Michael immediately knows from his expression that this is bad, really bad. "Michael, you have viral myocarditis. It's an inflammation of the heart muscle, likely caused by a severe viral infection you had months ago. The virus attacked your heart tissue and caused significant damage." Michael stares at him, trying to process the words. "Okay, so what does that mean? Medication? Surgery? When can I play again?" The doctor's face falls. "Michael, I don't think you understand. Your heart is severely damaged. The muscle tissue is deteriorating. You can't play soccer anymore. In fact, you need to avoid any strenuous physical activity. Your heart can't handle it." The words hit Michael like a truck. "Wait, what?" "No, you don't understand. That's what I do. That's who I am. I have scouts watching me. I'm going to play professionally. I'm going to play for Canada in the World Cup. The doctor shakes his head slowly. Michael, we need to focus on keeping you alive. Right now, that's all that matters. The myocarditis is progressive. Your heart is getting weaker. We're going to do everything we can, but you need to prepare yourself for the possibility that without intervention, without a miracle, you might only have months left. Months left. The words echo in Michael's head as he lies in that hospital bed. He's 20 years old. He's supposed to be living his dream. Instead, doctors are telling him he's dying. His parents are devastated. His mother can barely look at him without tears streaming down her face. His father tries to stay strong, but Michael can see the fear in his eyes. The next few months are hell. Michael goes from doctor to doctor, specialist to specialist. Everyone tells him the same thing with different words. His heart is failing. The damage is irreversible. There's no cure for advanced myocarditis. They put him on medications that make him feel sick. He loses weight. The athletic physique he worked years to build starts wasting away. He can barely walk across a room without getting winded. Going upstairs feels like climbing a mountain. This can't be his life. This can't be how his story ends. He watches his teammates play from the sidelines, and every game feels like a funeral for the life he'll never have. He watches them celebrate victories he'll never experience. He sees scouts in the stands looking at other players, players who used to look up to him. It's torture, pure torture. His doctors deliver the final blow in early 1986. Michael, your condition has deteriorated significantly. Your heart is operating at less than 15% capacity. At this rate, you have maybe 6 weeks, possibly less. There's only one option left: a heart transplant. A heart transplant. Michael doesn't know whether to feel hope or terror. Hope, because maybe, just maybe, he can live. Terror, because he needs someone else to die for him to have that chance. But there's another problem. Heart transplants in 1986 are still incredibly rare and dangerous. The success rate isn't great, and for someone who wants to return to professional athletics, the doctors are clear. Michael, if you get a transplant, and that's a big if, you need to understand something. The anti-rejection drugs you'll need to take for the rest of your life will suppress your immune system. You'll be vulnerable to infections. Your body won't perform the way it used to. Professional sports? That's not realistic. We're talking about giving you a chance to live a normal life. Maybe walk around, have a family someday. But competitive athletics, especially at a professional level, that's impossible. Your body won't be able to handle it. Michael hears the words, but in his mind he's already made a decision. If he gets a second chance at life, he's not going to waste it living scared. If someone gives him their heart, he's going to honor that gift by living fully, completely, impossibly. But first, he needs to survive, and the clock is ticking. Michael's parents refuse to give up. His father, using his British connections, Michael was born in England and still holds a British passport, begins making calls. They learn about Papworth Hospital near Cambridge, England. It's one of the leading heart transplant centers in the world, run by a pioneering surgeon named Dr. Richard Hayes and his team. The problem is the waiting list is long, very long, and Michael's time is running out. But his parents fight. They call every day. They write letters. They beg. Finally, through a combination of Michael's dual citizenship and sheer desperation, Papworth Hospital agrees to evaluate him. In July 1986, Michael's parents literally carry him onto a plane to England. He's so weak he can barely sit up. The flight feels like it takes forever. Every breath is a struggle. His lips are turning blue from lack of oxygen. Other passengers stare, concerned. Flight attendants hover nearby, ready to help if he crashes. Somehow he makes it to England. Somehow he survives the flight. At Papworth Hospital, the evaluation is quick. The doctors take one look at his chart, one look at his condition, and immediately put him on the transplant list. Your critical priority, they tell him. If a heart becomes available, you'll be at the top of the list. Now comes the worst part, the waiting. Days pass, then weeks. Michael lies in a hospital bed in England, thousands of miles from home, slowly dying. Every day his heart gets weaker. Every day the monitors show his body shutting down. His parents never leave his side. They sleep in chairs next to his bed. They hold his hand. They pray. Michael drifts in and out of consciousness. In his fevered dreams, he's back on the soccer field, running, playing, alive. Then he wakes up to the reality of beeping machines and worried faces. Is this how it ends? In a hospital room in a foreign country, never having achieved his dreams, never having lived the life he was supposed to live. Then, on a day that Michael can barely remember, a doctor rushes into his room. "Michael, we have a heart, we have a match, we're prepping you for surgery right now." The next few hours are a blur. Nurses rushing around, anesthesiologists explaining procedures, his parents crying and holding him. "We love you. We'll see you on the other side." Michael is wheeled into the operating room. The bright lights, the masked faces, someone placing a mask over his face. Count backward from 10, 10, 9, 8. Darkness. What Michael doesn't know yet, what he won't learn until years later, is the tragic and beautiful irony of his donor. The heart beating in someone else's chest, the heart that's about to become his, belongs to a 17-year-old boy named James from Newport, Wales. James was a talented young athlete, a soccer player. On an ordinary day, during an ordinary game, James collapsed on the field from a sudden brain aneurysm. He died doing what he loved most, playing soccer. And now his heart, a heart that loved the game as much as Michael's, will give Michael a second chance to play again. The surgery takes hours. Dr. Hayes and his team work with incredible precision. They remove Michael's dying heart and carefully implant James's healthy one. They connect the vessels, restart the heart, watch as it begins to beat in its new home. It works. Against all odds, it works. Michael wakes up in intensive care. For a moment, he doesn't remember where he is or what happened. Then he feels it. A heartbeat. Strong, steady, regular. Not the weak, irregular flutter he's lived with for 2 years. A real heartbeat. He's alive. He touches his chest, feeling the bandages, the surgical staples, the tube draining fluid from his chest cavity. He's alive. The first weeks after surgery are brutal. The pain is excruciating. His chest feels like it's been split open because it literally has been. Every breath hurts. Coughing is agony, but he's alive. The anti-rejection drugs make him nauseous. His immune system is suppressed, so he's vulnerable to every infection. Visitors have to wear masks and gowns. He's isolated in a sterile room, but he's alive. The doctors are cautiously optimistic. The transplant was successful. Your body hasn't rejected the new heart, but Michael, you need to understand this changes everything. You'll be on immunosuppressant drugs for the rest of your life. You'll need regular checkups. You'll need to be careful. And competitive sports, especially at the level you were at, that's simply not realistic anymore. Michael nods. He hears them. But he's already planning. He's already thinking about what comes next. Recovery is slow, agonizingly slow. First, he has to learn to walk again. His muscles have atrophied during months of illness and bed rest. Simple things like walking to the bathroom leave him gasping. But every day he pushes a little harder. A few more steps, a few more minutes. His physical therapists are amazed by his determination. Most transplant patients are happy to take it easy, one tells him. You're acting like you're training for the Olympics. Not the Olympics, Michael thinks. Something better. After 3 months in England, Michael is finally cleared to return to Canada. He's weak, he's scarred, he's on a dozen medications, but he's alive. Back in Victoria, his friends and family are shocked by his transformation. He's thin, pale, fragile looking. This doesn't look like the golden boy athlete they remember. People don't know what to say to him. They look at him with pity. Poor Michael. His career is over. His dreams are dead. He's lucky to be alive, sure, but what kind of life will he have? Michael sees it in their eyes, hears it in their carefully chosen words. Everyone has written him off. Everyone except Michael himself. 6 months after his transplant, when he's supposed to be resting and taking it easy, Michael does something insane. He starts training, not gentle exercises, real training. He starts with short jogs. His doctors would have a heart attack if they knew. Pun intended. His chest still hurts. He gets winded easily, but he keeps going. Every day he pushes a little further, a little faster. His parents try to stop him. Michael, you're going to hurt yourself. You need to listen to the doctors. They said competitive sports are impossible. They said a lot of things are impossible, he responds. They said I'd never survive without a transplant. They said I might not survive the surgery. They said I'd never be an athlete again. I'm tired of listening to people tell me what's impossible. I'd rather find out for myself. It's reckless. It's dangerous. It's completely against medical advice. It's also who Michael is. He didn't survive a death sentence and a heart transplant just to live half a life. Within a year of his transplant, Michael makes a decision that stuns everyone. He's going back to college soccer. Not as a fan, not as a coach, as a player. Michael applies to the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. UNLV has a strong soccer program. More importantly, it's far away from Victoria, far away from everyone who looks at him with pity, far away from people who knew him before and can't see him as anything but the sick kid. In Las Vegas, he can be anyone. He can be an athlete again. When UNLV's athletic department learns about his medical history, there's serious concern. They've never had a transplant patient try to play NCAA sports. There's no precedent, no protocols. They consult with doctors. They consult with lawyers. The risk is enormous. If something happens to him during a game, the liability could be catastrophic. But there's something about Michael's determination that wins them over. The head coach of the soccer program meets with him. Look, I'll be honest. I don't know if this is a good idea. I don't know if it's even possible. But if you're willing to try, if you can pass all the medical evaluations, if you can prove you can compete at this level, I'll give you a shot. Fair enough? More than fair, Michael says. That's all I'm asking for. A shot. The 1987 season. Michael Robertson, transplant recipient, walks onto the soccer field at UNLV for his first practice. His teammates don't know his full story. They just see a new guy trying out. In the locker room before practice, Michael takes off his shirt to change. That's when they see it, the massive scar running down his chest. Someone asks, "Dude, what happened to you?" "Heart surgery," Michael says casually, pulling on his jersey. "Don't worry about it." He sees the looks, concern, doubt, pity. He's so tired of pity. The practice starts and Michael proves something that day. He proves he belongs. He's not as fast as he used to be. His endurance isn't what it was, but the skill is still there. The vision, the touch, the instinct, all of it survived the transplant. The ball still feels like an extension of his body. His first season at UNLV is challenging. He plays limited minutes. He still gets exhausted more easily than his teammates, but he's playing. He's competing. He's living. 1989, 3 years after his transplant. Michael Robertson is no longer the guy people worry about. He's become one of UNLV's star players. He's won multiple awards, including being named the Conference Student Athlete of the Year and voted USA's most courageous athlete. But the biggest moment is yet to come. The major indoor soccer league holds its annual draft. This is professional soccer. This is the dream Michael was told he'd never achieve. The Cleveland Crunch has the #1 overall pick. Michael knows they've been watching him. They know his story. But will they take the risk? The general manager stands up to announce the pick. With the first overall selection in the 1989 MISL draft, the Cleveland Crunch select Michael Robertson from the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. The room erupts. Sports journalists can't believe what they just witnessed. A heart transplant recipient just got drafted into professional sports. This has never happened before, ever. Michael becomes the first athlete in human history to play professional sports after receiving a heart transplant. The story explodes. ESPN covers it. Sports Illustrated writes about it. News outlets around the world want to interview the soccer player with someone else's heart. Michael handles it all with grace. But in every interview, he makes sure to say the same thing. This isn't just my story. This is a story about organ donation. Someone had to die for me to live. A young man named James, a soccer player just like me. His family made the incredibly difficult decision to donate his organs in the darkest moment of their lives. Because of them, I'm here. Because of them, I got to chase my dreams. This heart isn't really mine. I'm just borrowing it, and I'm going to honor James's memory by living the fullest life possible. Michael plays professionally for several years. He plays for multiple teams in both the United States and Canada. Every game, every goal, every moment on that field is a gift. Every heartbeat is a miracle. Eventually, Michael's professional playing career comes to an end. Not because his heart fails, but because, like all athletes, age and time catch up with him. But Michael Robertson's story doesn't end when he stops playing. It transforms into something bigger. In 2011, Michael founds the Heart Forward Foundation, a nonprofit organization dedicated to increasing organ donor awareness and supporting transplant recipients who want to return to active lifestyles. He becomes a motivational speaker, traveling the world, sharing his story. He speaks at the White House. He speaks at the Canadian and British parliaments. He delivers a TEDx talk that goes viral. His message is simple but powerful. You are not defined by what happens to you. You are defined by how you respond. When life tells you something is impossible, that's not a stop sign, it's a challenge. And the only way to honor the gifts you've been given, whether it's a transplanted heart or simply the gift of another day, is to live fully, completely, impossibly. In 2016, 30 years after his transplant, Michael does something extraordinary. He travels to Wales to meet the family of his donor. He stands in the cemetery where James is buried. He meets James's father. Two men, connected by tragedy and hope, sharing tears and gratitude. Thank you, Michael says. Thank you for giving me life. Thank you for giving me the chance to live my dreams. I've tried to honor James every single day. I hope I've made you proud. James's father embraces him. You have, he whispers. You absolutely have. 2018. Michael is now 53 years old. He's lived with his transplanted heart for 32 years, far longer than anyone expected. He's beaten the odds, broken records, inspired millions. But the human body, no matter how determined the spirit, has limits. Michael starts feeling sick again. Fatigue, shortness of breath, chest pain, number, not again. Tests reveal devastating news. His transplanted heart, after decades of faithful service, is failing. The average lifespan for a transplanted heart is about 10 years. Michael's has lasted more than 3 times that long, but now it's giving out. And his kidneys are failing too. He needs a second heart transplant and a kidney transplant. The odds are astronomical. His immune system, after decades of anti-rejection drugs, is incredibly complex. Finding compatible organs is nearly impossible. His doctors give him a 1.75% chance, less than 2%. Once again, Michael Robertson faces death. Once again, he's told his time is running out. And once again, he refuses to accept it. March 2019. Against all odds, organs become available. 2 families, in their darkest moments, say yes to donation. A second heart, a kidney. It's another miracle. Michael undergoes another marathon surgery in San Diego. The surgical team removes James's heart, which has served Michael faithfully for 33 years, and implants a new one. They transplant the new kidney. Hours of surgery. Incredible risk, but it works. Michael survives. At 54 years old, he becomes one of the only people ever to successfully receive 2 heart transplants. I've been given 3 hearts in one lifetime, he tells reporters from his hospital bed. My original heart that I was born with, James's heart that gave me 33 incredible years, and now this new heart that's giving me another chance. How many people can say they've had 3 chances at life? I'm not going to waste a single moment. Today, Michael Robertson is one of the longest living heart transplant recipients in the world. His story has inspired organ donation campaigns globally. His foundation has raised millions of dollars and helped hundreds of transplant recipients return to active lifestyles. In 2022, Michael was awarded the Order of Canada, one of the country's highest honors. for his humanitarian work and advocacy for organ donation. But if you ask Michael what his greatest achievement is, he doesn't talk about soccer. He doesn't talk about being first. He talks about the letters he receives. Letters from transplant recipients who read his story and found hope. Letters from people who signed up to be organ donors because of him. Letters from families who lost loved ones, but found comfort knowing their decision to donate gave others the gift of life. That's the real victory, Michael says. Not the goals I scored or the records I set. It's knowing that maybe, just maybe, my story helped save some lives. That's what matters. That's the legacy I want to leave.